Hey there, and happy Friday. So I wanted to jump on quick and show you some inspiration in case your weekend includes some craft time. So I know my weekend is going to include not only some craft time, but also some cleanup time. I feel like my room is just a mess. Like I have all these half started projects. I'm sure all of you have all of your projects always caught up, all of your scrapbooks caught up, all of that. So I'm sure I'm just the minority today, right? No. All right, so yesterday I had a great time in Fairmont at Stamp Camp and was so excited to bring the people there a sneak peek of the new textured Botanical Textures Sweet Collection. The textured notes bundle is just beautiful, and so I think I wanted to go with this for two reasons. Number one, people seem to like it the most out of the 6 projects. They're always so gracious. Everybody is at Stamp Camp, but this one seemed to get the most, ooh, Oz, I like this. Show me more about these dies and things like that too. So that was good. And another reason is because on this Facebook page, Belle Harder Inspiring Others, I had kind of put a sneak peek yesterday saying, hey, this is the suite that I'm going to be doing something with. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to kind of continue on. So if you saw the picture of the dies, the stamps, all the things, all the designer series paper, I wanted to show you that next. So so let me get my camera turned on. Hey Deb, good to see you at the grocery store. I don't even want to know how my hair and what I'm looking like transfers over onto video today, because I did not know that we were supposed to get like that splash of a windy rain shower, and I'm just like, brr, not only is it freezing cold, but like it didn't do anything to my hair to have the wind whipping that little gust of rain into it. So it's like, it is what it is. I was just happy to get caught up on errands and get some groceries back in the house too. It seemed like it had been a while. All right. Oh gosh, look at what's on my desk. I have to show you this, guys, because you guys are always so like proud of my achievements, and so I like to share with you. Stampin' Up! I just got this week. When I reach my $900,000 in sales, then they send out a nice little diamond pin that has 9 little diamond things in it. And so this is going to go on my black apron. And for those of you that come to my annual open house, you'll know exactly what that means. I do not wear that apron like any other time because it is so heavy. I don't even know how much it would weigh in pounds, but just a fun little thing that Stampin' Up! Sends out to say that they noticed our achievement. So that's kind of fun. And it is kind of fun to have kind of that apron to show all the events like I've been to or earned or different achievements too. And so that's going to go on there. All right, here is the card. And as I get started with today's textured notes card, I'm going to go over the things that make up the whole suite collection so you can kind of see. So here is the bundle, textured notes. What I'm going to use for today's card is kind of this little textured, it could be like a rope or like a segment of a mat. And then I'm going to use this, this leaf here, and you are seriously the best. I love that. And then these are the dies, which drew a lot of attention yesterday. And I should have brought the dies along. I just kind of kept showing it online to people. But what was the most fun about it is showing people that all of these rectangles have different textures and patterns in each of them. So I'm using the 3rd largest here on this, and so you can see that this texture translates to that. So I have that, and then the other, so these all nest together. So that's the best way to say it, like these all nest together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the 8th one does not nest. It's its own thing here, and that is the one that I did the sentiment on right here. All right, so I've got that. So that's part of the suite collection. And then another part of it that I was going to use and decided that I didn't want one more step because a lot of yesterday's cards were cutting and coloring and different things too. Not too much. People, I kind of have guests like coloring as much as they like it. I only do a couple projects each camp. So, so I thought, okay, there was more cutting at the project. So I thought, well, let's not use this, because what I had in mind was stamping first and then running it through. But this is a mini corrugated 3D embossing folder. And with all the textures in the dies and the stamps, the corrugated look is just so fun to have that in an embossing folder, 3D. And then, let's see, oh, there's ribbon in the suite. Whoops, here we go. I'm going to use this on today's project too. This, it's just a nice 1/4 inch white ribbon, really nice, soft texture too, easy to tie, and such, and it's just called white ribbon, but it is part of that. Like all of these products that I'm showing you can be seen if you just scroll down like just a couple posts ago with what I've posted for what is included. All right, so now sometimes when we have suites, we have, say, like a double bundle. We're kind of getting used to that. So sometimes the stamp and die bundle, there'll be 2 of them in a suite, but this one only has 1 stamp die bundle, but it has 2 sets of coordinating papers, pretty papers. And so I want to show you those. So this card, I've used up almost all of the papers that are this pattern just because of yesterday's class size. So it kind of looks like this, and then the back side is kind of a bigger version, of like this pattern here on there. So people were like turning that over to put their adhesive on and like, oh, that's fun. Okay, and then we've got this, which is kind of a nice matte look texture there, with like a fabric on the back side. It almost is so detailed, it almost feels like it should feel like that. And then we've got this pattern here. Yeah, I do not know my dye, like, I don't know, there's a term for people that know their textiles and such. I don't have a degree in that to know, but it's just pretty. And here again, like, how fun is that for looking like true texture? Hi there, Kathy. And then there's this one with a really fine, like, this looks like linen to me. And then we've got this weave. So if you see here, I have showed you 1, 2, 3, and 4 different patterns. So what makes this collection a little different with these designer series paper, there's 4 patterns instead of, usually you have 6 with 2 of each pattern. There's 4, and you get 3 sheets of each of these. So that's a little bit different. And then let me show you the other designer series paper that comes in the set. So this is all black and white, but totally coordinates with the stamp set. So we've got that and this, and then we've got this and that. And people are like, oh, I'm never sure what to do with black and white besides sympathy cards, which always makes awesome sympathy cards. So we got this and that. And I said, you know, it doesn't have to stay black and white. You could take a blending brush or a sponge and just add some color to this, and it's going to pick up wherever it's white and just add the color in, and that would change it too. This one might be my favorite here. I like this one a lot. And that. And then the last one is this and that. So like I said, this has 2 sheets of each of 6 designs. So that's a little bit different. And then the last thing that is part of the suite, oh, hold on, I'm going to pick up the designer series paper that just dropped. Those little extra strips. The last thing in the suite collection are the embellishments, and these are called neutral matte dots. All the things that I showed you are online exclusives. That's why I wanted to be a little bit more thorough with that, because these 2 people loved these. So it kind of comes in pecan pie, vanilla, black, and white. So great neutral tones. Anybody that knows me knows I love stamping with neutral tones. So that is kind of fun to do that. And then I'm just noticing now, like I totally forgot to lay out my papers. So let me just dig in off camera in my little tote from yesterday's class. takes me a while sometimes to like just recoup from a class, and not that yesterday's class was hard, it was just fun. And it just went so smooth, but like I said, I kind of ran errands today, so I didn't get everything put back into place. All right, so here we have the card base, and the card base is Pebbled Path, and this is going to be retiring. And don't be tired of me saying, okay, this is what's retiring, because you need to get on it. If you love this color and don't want to miss out, Pebbled Path, Copper Clay, Wild Wheat, Boho Blue, Moody Mauve, they're all retiring soon. So this, out of all of them, might be my favorite, okay? So we've got this, and then I love how this coordinates. And it also looks great with gray granite too, smoky slate, any of the gray tones. So I've cut this 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just, oh yeah, so now you can see that fun basket weave in a bigger pattern here, bigger slice of cardstock. So this I'm just going to put down with my adhesive like so, and center that on there. All right, so now this, using the die, is what I cut also out of Pebbled Path, and you can see the fun outline of that on the edges there. It does a great job of getting a nice defined look. So that I'm going to eventually put on here a little bit of a kink to it, but I'm going to do some stamping. So the Pebbled Path ink pad's going to come into play here, kind of a monochromatic card, which I also love to do. And then this leafy look too. So some people have wondered, like, is it, when they saw the card at first, oh, is it 2-step stamping? No, because there's all the textures and the open and the filled in all in one stamp. So here's the leaf, and I'm just going to stamp that on a piece of smoky slate. And you'll see how gorgeous that is. The measurement for this is a little wonky. It is 2 1/8 by 3 3/8. So 2 1/8 by 3 3/8. Just because the wonky measurement, like, you don't have to do that, but the reason why it's a little wonky is I didn't want to take away too much from the cool frame. And so if I got it any bigger, it would take away from it. If I condensed it down smaller, it wouldn't fit very well. So I just liked that measurement. And now I'm going to bring over kind of that textured image here, and I just kind of lightly tap on my ink pad, the Pebbled Path. I'm just going to lightly kind of just add that here and there. So I'm just going to kind of just do that. And now that looks like kind of like little treads, but little patterns. And I just love how it kind of fills in the rest of the clean space in a nice way. All right, so this is ready to get some adhesive added to it. And like I said, I'm just going to kind of kink that across on there like so. All right, next let's stamp out the sentiment. I just have a long strip of basic white. Hello, Kirsten. Yeah, it is Friday, and I'm feeling Friday. My hubby is like, hey, do you want to go out to eat tonight? I said, absolutely. But then what happens? He said, okay, you get to pick. Does anybody struggle with picking? Like, I just want somebody to drive me somewhere and like have that be like the surprise or something. I don't know why that's so hard, because I do want to go out to eat tonight for supper. All right, so this sentiment says, you are seriously the best. So we've got that in kind of a fun cursive. And here we go. Here's this. So something else that I brought out yesterday that a lot of you guys don't always see in class is my mini machine here. So you see me use my big cut and emboss machine. But like I said yesterday, there was more cutting going on. So I just had this set out at a station, and usually with the smaller one, There's no magnetic pad. I still use my old magnetic pad for my large machine. So I just had some washi tape set out in case people felt more comfortable with taping down their die. Usually I do pretty well if I just hold steady as I go through with the mini, but this gets pulled out like when I'm at craft retreats or even planning for my projects here in my craft room, because sometimes I'll have all the stuff laid out and I don't want the big machine to accidentally rip or tear, move something, and that this mini machine just sits so well on my desktop. Some people have earned this. It's a $60 machine, comes with all the plates, everything you need right off the get-go. It comes in either white or that new but retiring boho blue color, $60. But some of my hostesses, and there's still time to host, could get it free for their half price item, which a lot of people did, just to have either as a backup or just knowing that there's so many. Like, this is a pretty good sized die and it still would fit through the machine. So I think there's a lot more dies that fit in there than a person realizes too. So I have to give a shout out for that workhorse. And then yesterday at the class too, another thing that I laid out, I told them it's going to look goofy that I have so many dimensional sheets that are almost used up. But I did that, I told them, on purpose, so that when it came to putting this on the card, then they would have some good options to feel free to just cut and then cut and have this strip here nice and long. I just want to make sure that I didn't get it too long, because this seems like super long. Nope, that's good. All right, so I'm going to strip that off there. There's just a little piece stuck here on the other side. Okay, so this is going to get put on and all ready to go, and I'll explain why very soon here. All right, so I've got that, and I'm leaving it upside down so it doesn't stick onto this or tear it or something. All right, next I'm going to flip this over and put some dimensionals on here. One in each corner, one in the middle. Sometimes if it's this size, I might do two in the middle, but this is going to go across as the sentiment and add some bulk, so I don't want it to get too bulky. Okay, so I've got this, and like I said, I'm also, not only is this going to be wonky, but I'm going to put this at a little bit of an angle too. And already I love like just all the textures, even though it's kind of monochromatic. I love how that looks. So let's bring in the ribbon. How many of you hate tying bows? Okay, so I can't remember who recently told me this, and I went, oh yeah, that's a great idea. And it was as I was trying to just think, oh, I'll just like bunch up a little bit of ribbon and kind of put that behind my sentiment, that I kind of did the same thing that somebody had recently showed me. So if you don't like to tie a bow, this works so great. Just do a rabbit ear as if you're going to tie a bow, and then do a rabbit ear underneath. And then you kind of just lay or pull that out so it's equal to what's kind of on that side, and do a cut. And then as you twist it, it kind of looks like a bow, right? So what I'm going to do then is grab, oops, I'm just going to get rid of this right away before I put on my card. There's just a little bit of extra grain. I'm going to grab a glue dot here, and that's just going to go on the bottom of all of that. And I'm just going to put it on my card like so. So you can see that thing just wants to fray, doesn't it? I'm afraid not. There we go. Got rid of it. And so I'm keeping my thumb there so I can pick up my sentiment, and then that's going to hold that into place. I'm going to have that go straight across, and then you can still kind of fidget and do a little bit more with that bow if you want to. So just a great way to make a bow that's not a bow, add a little bit more texture, because there's just some fun texture already in there. So let's keep it going. And then for the embellishing, like I said, those new matte dots, neutral matte dots, all of these things online only. They will not be showing up in any catalog, mini or annual. So that's why I want to make sure I get you all the information. So I'm just going to put a couple of the large sized ones kind of down here, like so. And then I'm just going to grab a small one and put that up there. So kind of ties in the white with the rest of the different grays and the designer series paper. And then after I get done with my videos, I always post a still shot. For those of you that are watching me on YouTube now, thank you so much. I also post a link there to kind of like a shopping cart, and it shows all of these products, the codes, to order, the price and everything too. So that works out really well. And thank you for those that are subscribing to YouTube. I'm up to just over 500 subscribers now, which is exciting. And it's also exciting that people are finding me on YouTube for the fact that Facebook has now decided that all the videos I make will only be around for 30 days. So if you like something and want to go back to watch the video, it will be gone after 30 days. So it might be a good time now, as I mentioned this, to subscribe to YouTube if you want to go back and watch any videos that way. All right, so I'm going to bring this texture stamp back, and I'm just going to add that kind of just one after the other, just kind of putting it together like so. You're seriously the best. And I wasn't sure like what I'm going to use this card for yet. It could be birthday, it could just be any kind of card like thinking of you or something. So I'm just going to leave the inside like this for now. But I love that I can take that texture stamp and just follow through with that in the inside like so. All right, there we have it. And some of you, if you're using my March host code or placing a large order, whoops, here we go. Turn the camera on. You might get something that coordinates with this Textured Sweets collection. So I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but you might just be getting something that looks like this, and it just might be something that would help you coordinate your book reading for those of you that like to read books. So that's all the hints I'm going to give for that so far. But I hope you enjoyed today's card. I hope you guys have crafting in your forecast for the weekend, and I'll see you again. My plans are to come back on Monday. Take care. Bye-bye.